You are 28, but your back has felt 40 since college. You go to bed at 9:30, and you are not even sorry about it. Your friends are making plans for midnight, and you are already calculating how tired you'll be tomorrow. Not because you are boring, because your body and your brain settled into a different decade years ago, and nobody gave you a say in it. And it is not just physical. It is the way you think, the way you process things, the way you look at people your age and feel like you are watching them from a decade ahead. Like you skipped a chapter everyone else is still reading. And if you've ever felt like your soul arrived pre-aged, like you came into this world already a little tired, there is a reason, and it goes deeper than personality. Way deeper. They're the friend who gives advice that sounds like it came from someone who has lived 3 extra lives. The coworker who doesn't get excited about office drama because they've already seen how it ends. The one who was always described as mature for their age, especially as a kid, because that is where this starts. That phrase, mature for their age, it sounds like a compliment, but it is actually a description of loss. It means a child did the work of growing up ahead of schedule because someone needed them to. And here is what nobody tells you. Feeling older than your age isn't a quirk. It is a footprint, something stepped on your timeline before you were ready. And it never quite snapped back. So let's go back. Because the clock didn't just speed up on its own. Something wound it forward. Picture a kid who had to grow up faster than the kids around them. Maybe a parent was sick. Maybe the money was tight. Maybe there was a divorce that turned a child into a messenger between 2 adults who couldn't talk to each other. Or maybe the parent was physically there, but emotionally somewhere else. Present at the table, but absent behind the eyes. Or maybe nothing dramatic happened. Maybe they were just the oldest sibling, the one who watched the younger ones while the parents worked, the one who learned to make meals before they learned to ride a bike, who knew how to read a room before they knew how to read. And the world looked at that kid and said, wow, so responsible, so grown up, so easy. And easy was the worst word, because easy meant nobody had to check on them. Easy meant they were doing such a good job of holding it together that nobody thought to ask what it was costing them. Psychologists call it parentification. When a child takes on the emotional or practical role of the adult in the household, not because they volunteered, because nobody else was doing it. And a child's brain will always try to fill the gap because the alternative is chaos. And research published in the Journal of Family Therapy found that roughly 1 in 5 adults report experiencing parentification as children. 1 in 5 people whose internal clock got wound forward before they had a say in it. And most of them still don't have a name for what happened. They just know they've always felt older than the number on their birthday cake. And here is what it does to you long term, because the effects don't fade when you grow up. They settle in. The first thing it builds is a person who can't stop being the responsible one. Not because they like it, because their nervous system won't let them stop. They're the one who drives so nobody has to worry about getting home. The one who checks the weather before the group trip. The one who carries the emergency kit nobody asked for. And people say, wow, you are so organized. But it is not organization. It is hypervigilance dressed in a cardigan. Because when you spent your childhood anticipating problems before they arrived, your brain never learned how to stop. It just got better at hiding the scanning behind a calm face. And people call it intuition. But intuition doesn't keep you up at night running scenarios. This does. And here is the second thing, the loneliness. Because feeling older than your age means feeling out of sync with everyone around you. Your friends are worried about what to wear to a party. You are worried about your retirement fund. They're still figuring out who they are. You figured that out years ago because you didn't have a choice. And you can't explain the gap without sounding like you think you are above them, so you don't. You nod and laugh and feel the distance quietly. And the hardest part is, you don't know if you are lonely because people don't understand you, or because you don't know how to let people in without managing them first. And there is a third layer, and this one's the quietest, the grief. Because somewhere underneath all the competence and the planning and the being fine, there is a person who missed their own childhood, not lost it to tragedy necessarily, just skipped it, went straight from learning to tie their shoes to learning how to hold a family together, and they didn't notice the skip at the time. You don't notice a childhood ending when you are in the middle of it. You only feel it later, when you see what everyone else got to keep, the lightness, the carelessness, the luxury of not knowing what is coming next and being okay with it. And they watch other people be carefree and spontaneous and messy, and something aches. Not jealousy, exactly. More like watching someone eat a meal you were never served. You are not angry. You are just hungry in a way you can't explain. But here's the part that changes everything. And it is the thing nobody says to these people, because everyone's too busy relying on them. The weight you've been carrying was never yours to carry. The responsibility you took on at 7 wasn't maturity. It was survival. And the reason you feel older isn't because you aged faster. It is because your childhood used up energy that was supposed to last decades. You spent it all early, and nobody noticed because you made the spending look easy. You made everything look easy. That was the whole point. Psychologists call it accelerated maturation. Your brain developed coping structures ahead of schedule because it had to, and those structures are impressive. They're what made you capable and resilient and calm in a crisis, but they also locked you into a version of yourself that never got permission to be young, to be reckless, to not have a plan, to need someone without feeling guilty about it, to sit in a room and not automatically calculate who needs what from you. Clinical psychologist Lisa Firestone puts it this way: the parentified child becomes an adult who knows how to endure, but they're still learning how to actually live. And the healing doesn't look like becoming younger. It looks like giving yourself permission to not always be the strong one, to say the thing out loud instead of processing it alone at 2 in the morning, to let the cracks show and find out people don't leave when they see it, to cancel the plan because you are tired, to say I don't know when someone asks for your opinion, to let someone take care of you without immediately calculating how to return the favor. Because the thing nobody told you when you were 7 and holding everything together is that you were allowed to put it down, and you still are. So, if you are someone who has always been the old soul in every room, here is what I want you to hear. You are not broken. You are not boring. You didn't miss your youth. It was taken early. And that is not the same thing. Every time you feel out of step with people your age, that is not a flaw in you. That is the echo of a childhood that asked too much too soon, and you answered. Every single time, you answered. And you deserve to feel your actual age, not the one your nervous system assigned you when you were 7. The one you actually are. The one you actually are, which has always been enough. And enough doesn't mean perfect. It doesn't mean having it all together. It just means present. And that is something nobody ever let you be. If this hit home, I'd genuinely appreciate it if you subscribed. And if you want to support these deep dives into the things we carry without knowing we're carrying them, hit that join button. Because the people who feel older than their age aren't tired of living. They just started carrying the weight before anyone told them they could put it down. And putting it down doesn't mean you failed. It means you finally got to the part of your life where someone said you don't have to hold this anymore, and you believed them.